Hello and welcome to the channel and to another episode of Guitar Stories, where I talk about one of my guitars from my collection, as you can see behind me. And in this episode I would like to introduce you to my Chandler Custom. Now this is a guitar that was made for me by Chandler in Kew, Richmond, Chandler Guitars, in about 2003, I think. I would have to check that. I think 2003, 2004 maybe, latest. Yeah, so as you can see, it's based on a Stratocaster. The inspiration for this guitar, when I spec'd it up to be built, was my green modified Fender Strat Plus, which I featured in episode 1. I gave that guitar to Chandler and I said, I want you to build me one of these, but with different electronics. And that's what he did. It wasn't built from scratch. It was assembled by Chandler's. The body was a Fender licensed body, I believe, from the States, and the neck is a Warmoth neck, also from the States. And it has the same neck profile as my green Strat. Has the same size frets. In fact, everything about it is the same. They took some measurements and everything, and made this guitar so it feels the same. So starting at the bottom, we have a Fender 2-post bridge, which is what I originally had on my green Strat before I replaced it with a Wilkinson unit. But it originally had the 2-post unit on it, and I wanted the same on this guitar. The Wilkinson tremolo works really well, as does this, but I wore out the original one of these on the other guitar, which is why I upgraded it to a Wilkinson unit, and I may do that on this one as well, because one thing I don't like about these is that the thread wears, because when you apply pressure, when you're using the whammy bar, you're actually putting stress on the threads, and the threads, you have to tighten it up even more. On the Wilkinson, if you've seen episode 1, you'll see the Wilkinson is kind of hollow inside, and the thread goes up inside the bar, so the stress is taken on the outside on a nylon insert. So it's very unlikely it will wear out, but these get loose. Anyone who's owned a Fender type guitar with this type of tremolo will know what I mean. So that could be an upgrade that I'll make on this guitar. Now, where this guitar differs from the green Strat is in the electronics. I wanted to stick with EMGs, as EMGs in the other one, single coils. This one has a different layout. It has what they call an HSH, so humbucker, single coil humbucker. I'm not sure that humbucker is the correct term for an active pickup, but it is kind of a humbucker style, like that dual coil fat sound. So it's kind of like 2 coils in series, I believe. But these are active, so they kind of work differently to conventional pickups anyway. But for argument's sake, this is like a humbucker, and this too. It's a humbucker, single coil humbucker. Now I wanted this guitar to be able to do the same as the green one. So the green one has single coils, so but I wanted humbuckers as well. So I had coil taps put in. So when you lift these two knobs up here, you get the single coil sound out of these two pickups. So in this position, with these two knobs lifted up, and I have a mid boost here as well, 25 dB mid boost. It's actually EMG SPC circuit, strap presence control, and with that rolled all the way off, and these two buttons lifted up, these two knobs lifted up, you get something pretty close to a normal Strat, albeit active. And then you've got your normal 5-way switch. So in this configuration, with this SPC rolled into the off position and these knobs lifted, you've got a basically a Strat, sound-wise. Then you press it down to get full humbucker mode on both pickups. And then for even more gain, you turn your strap presence control up. So you've got, it's a bit over the top really. But yeah, that's how that works. Now I waited quite a long time to have this guitar built. One of the delays was down to the fact that you couldn't get white EMGs that easily. They only did cream. Well, obviously they did do white, but apparently there was an issue getting hold of the white ones because it was a non-standard thing at the time. They were either black or cream, so they tell me. Yeah, it's got a battery. Now on the green Strat, I had it routed out on the back under here for the battery. I'll be honest, I haven't changed this battery for some time and I can't remember where it is. I would imagine I had it put here. I can't remember. I should have really checked before I did the video, but I didn't think it's that important. This guitar was my main guitar when I had it built for a few years, and then I stopped using it for some reason. I think it might have been the type of gig I was doing, called for a Telecaster or a standard Strat or something like that. I don't know, but I did stop using it for some time. And then I had a reason to pull it out of the storage and start playing it again. And yeah, and it made me think, I wonder why I stopped playing it. But you know, I have a lot of guitars and I go through phases. I have my go-to guitars that get used reasonably regularly, but every now and again I'll pull one of the others out of the collection because I just fancy a change. So yeah, this guitar is very versatile, as you can imagine, with all these, the range of sounds. I had strap locks, shallow strap locks put on. It's got the Spursel lock-in machine heads, the same as my green Stratocaster. It differs from the green Strat in that it's got a graphite nut as opposed to the LSR roller nut, which is on the other one. This works really well. It stays in tune, even when I give the whammy bar some abuse. It's an absolutely great guitar. does everything. It's got a good weight to it. It's not too heavy. It's not light as a feather, but it's about standard. Um, I do love the Stratocaster form. It's very comfortable for me. I think it's the ideal guitar shape. I am a Strat guy, really. I play Telecasters a lot. I guess I'm a Fender guy, really. A Fender type of guitar is what I gravitate towards. I've got a lot of Strats, and probably about 12, and most of those, I think it's 12. Most of them are Fenders, but only one or two, maybe three are standard. In terms of the pickup configuration. So I say I'm a Strat guy, but yeah, my Strats tend to be modified in some way. They'll have a humbucker here or two humbuckers. But yeah, from a playing point of view, from playing comfort and ergonomics and the layout of the Strat, that suits me. I know where everything is. I'm used to it. But yeah, I suppose hot rodded Strat is my go-to. So I like the feel of it, but I like the sound of something with a bit more, a bit more gain available, that kind of thing. So it is a bit over the top, having the humbuckers, the mid boost, and all this switchery, but it's surprisingly intuitive and easy to use. It's very user friendly. And the only mod, as I say, the only mod I'm likely to make on it is to upgrade this to a Wilkinson, because, as I say, there's a bit of play in that, which is not good. But yeah, great guitar. When I had the opportunity to have a guitar built for me, I fell into that trap of wanting something that does everything with bells and whistles on it, instead of trying to keep it simple. But even back then, I was an experienced player, but I still didn't really know what I wanted. I just wanted a guitar that does everything, and even, there isn't a guitar that does everything, because you'll pick up a simpler guitar just for a different vibe and just because it makes you play differently. But yeah, I don't know. Everybody's different, I know. But my cousin Gary Furness, if you're watching, he had a guitar built, and yeah, from what I remember, it was a long time ago. From what I remember, he did the same as me. He had it packed full of features, that might seem now a bit over the top, but hey, why not? He had a guitar made for him by the legendary Ray Cooper, who he was friends with. Ray Cooper was a drummer in his band, but he's also a very well-known and highly respected guitar builder. Built guitars for George Harrison, Brian May, you name it, he did the lot. Anyway, he built a guitar for Gary, and of course Gary, his first guitar, custom guitar, made especially for him. He wanted everything. So he had 3 humbuckers put on a Strat type guitar, and I can't remember. You'll have to remind me, Gary. Just send me a message and just remind me about that guitar. Presumably you've still got it. I seem to think it had quite a complex switching arrangement on it, but it really was a Swiss Army knife of a guitar, if I remember rightly. And that's what this is. If I had a guitar made for me now, a custom built guitar to my spec, it probably wouldn't be as packed with features as this one. But I don't know, maybe it's not that over the top, just coil taps and a mid boost. The mid boost is a bit of an indulgence, really, especially when you got humbuckers, and these are powerful pickups as well. But yeah, so anyway, that is my Chandler Custom, built for me by Chandler's, built for John Beadle by Chandler Guitars. Charlie Chandler, he was the guy I actually went to see and gave him my specifications and gave him my green strap to measure up and all that. So I'm assuming he had a hand in building it, or he might have just passed it on to one of his techs. I don't know, but he was the guy. He was the guy I liaised with anyway, and went and met and chatted with, and the result was this. A very fine guitar indeed. It's served me well. It's done hundreds of gigs, and yeah, it's never missed a beat. So there it is, my Chandler Custom. If you enjoyed this video and you find it interesting, if you're a guitar geek like me, likes to know all about guitars and a little story behind how they came into my possession, please subscribe to the channel and tune in regularly. I will be featuring all these guitars one at a time. There's quite a lot there. You know, there's going to be about 60 episodes. Yeah, there's over 60 guitars there, and so that will keep the content coming on the channel for some time. Anyway, thank you for watching. Be good, be careful, and yeah, see you next time.